Hello, welcome back again to another day in 12 days of polish. Today I thought I would talk about polishes that I purchased because of the hype surrounding them. I don't fall for hype typically for polishes that I'm genuinely not interested in. It's like if I'm in neutral mode, you could certainly convince me to buy it, right? Car salesmen are great at this. And I mean, it works on me when it comes to nail polish. So I thought I would talk about these polishes. These are all polishes that I genuinely was already kind of interested in, but certainly the hype got to me and I finally made my purchase because of that. So I thought I would take us back a little bit and talk about Wet n Wild. It's been a long time since Wet n Wild has released any polishes, which is really unfortunate because I think they're a great brand for nail polishes. I liked their brushes, I liked how inexpensive they were, of course, but for whatever reason they decided to kind of do away with coming out with nail polishes, at least with their seasonal collections or their new collections. This first one though is one that I remember being very popular on YouTube. Not necessarily in the nail polish community. I don't even know if the nail polish community was around at that time. If it was probably itty bitty. But this one is Wet n Wild's I Need a Refreshment. This was really popular during the time when mint was a thing as well, but this is not so mint. This is more of like that Tiffany type of blue. It's not a Tiffany blue. This was just so popular. I did eventually go out and buy it, and I think it's a good one. It's not super unique nowadays. It reminds me a lot of China Glazes for Audrey, but it is good. It is a good polish. It's a cream. There's nothing wrong with it, but I mean, this certainly wouldn't be a polish that I pick up now, but there's nothing wrong with it. I cannot be the only one that picked up Pacific Blue because of the hype. I actually picked this up after the formula change. I was out of town, I popped into a Rite Aid, which I don't have near me, and they had this sitting on the rack, and I thought, why not? Why not get it? There's just so much hype surrounding it, even to this day. People like to sell it for like 30 bucks or 50 bucks, which I think is outrageous. Moonshine Manny has an alternative to this, which I would say is a dupe. I would actually say that it is a dupe. It is more expensive than this was originally, but it's certainly less expensive than what most people are selling this for nowadays in D-stashes. Formula's good. Opaque for me in 2 coats. I have never gotten this opaque in 1, which is one of like the pros to this one. One of the things that people would talk about all the time. I've never gotten an opaque in 1 coat. Maybe that comes with usage. More than likely that's what it is. I haven't used it enough though to experience that myself. Color Club is a brand that I actually discovered through Makeup Alley. The hollows are super popular, or they were super popular on the nail board. I recently, finally, after many years, picked up Crystal Baller. This is a blue linear hollow. The Color Club hollows have a really strong hollow flame. I feel like the hollow bits in here are a little bit chunkier. The hollow bits are a little bit chunkier than the ones that you find in China Glazes hollows, so I feel like that's probably why theirs aren't so pronounced. I think that Color Club really has earned the hype when it comes to their linear hollows because they are fantastic. They are very strong. If you don't own these and you really like a strong flame, I think these are great. I think these are kind of on par with what we see coming from indie brands. This next one is one that didn't impress me so much. This is Feel the Chemistry from OPI. This came from their holiday 2017 collection. I think that's the collection it came from. I was really excited about this. I heard so many people talk about it. It was receiving a ton of attention. For the most part, I felt like it died down, but it was still being talked about in like April and May. And so I was like, man, I want to know what all the hype is about. I was interested in it anyways, so I thought, what the heck, I'm placing an order. I can throw that in my cart. So I did. I got this in the mail. And it is a pretty polish. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I thought that the base color would be a little bit more dark than it actually is, giving it more of a contrast between that shimmer and the base, but it isn't as dark as I was expecting. I actually really like China Glaze's You're a Mean One from the holiday collection from 2018 this year, more than I like this one. They are 2 different polishes, but I thought when I was buying Feel the Chemistry, I was going to get a polish that was more like You're a Mean One than what I actually ended up getting from this. One that I picked up and haven't even tried is Wicked Liquid from China Glaze. This is a part of their Halloween 2018 collection. It looks like it has a black base with this kind of olive green shimmer in it. It's very strong. I haven't actually tried it on my nail, but this did receive a lot of attention when it was released. I don't typically like these colors, and usually I would skip right over it, but I was in the thick of doing all of these nail stamping, or these Halloween nail stamping looks, and I thought this would work great for that one. Of course, since I haven't tried it, I never actually executed that many, but I think it would be a good one next Halloween. That's probably the only time I would wear a color like this, but that's just personal preference. By no means am I a green person, but when Zoya released Merida, that was all anybody could talk about non-stop. Now, I'm not a green person. I've talked about this before. I don't like greens. But there was something about this that I thought, you know what, that might work for me. So during their 70% off sale, I believe, I went ahead, I threw this in my cart. This was gonna come out to $3. I figured, why not? It's not a bad price, especially from a brand like Zoya. And when I got it home, I was actually pleased. This is one of my favorite greens. And that's saying a lot. I think I have 3 or 4. I've actually tried making a list of my favorite greens so I can share them with you guys. And I have like 3 or 4. I don't know what to say for myself. I don't have very many favorite greens, but this one is definitely up there at the top. It's a beautiful scattered hollow coming from Zoya. Of course, the formula is great as well. Zoya is known for the great formulas. And they just recently released a wide brush that you can replace your old bottles or your old brush caps with. That was confusing. You know what I mean. The last one is my most recent purchase because of hype, and that is AENGLAND's Tristam. I just hauled this in my Black Friday haul. This is a dark denim blue with scattered hollow. I feel like the hollow in this is more subtle and the hollow bits are smaller than the ones that we find in Zoya. The formula on this though is beautiful. It's so creamy. It's so opaque. It essentially applies itself. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this polish, but I've got to say, I'm not a fan of the brush. They kind of have those longer, skinnier brushes, not as long as China Glazes, but probably just about as wide as the old China Glaze brushes. So that's one thing that I don't like about this, but really when it comes down to the polish itself, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can see why so many people enjoy it. That wraps up this video. Let me know if I am the only one that picked up Pacific Blue because of the hype. I cannot be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Tell me if you're another one that picked it up because of the hype. And also these Wet n Wild Mega Last polishes. Did you ever give in to these? I'm kind of curious. Let me know what you guys picked up because of the hype, and let me know how you ended up feeling about that polish. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!